Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning coaches show. And on this Saturday morning, we have David Carrillo with us, the Lady Cats softball coach. Coach Hammock is climbing on a bus about right now, getting ready to drive over to McKinney North. They've got a 12 noon game over in McKinney North, one of several Saturday games that Coach Hammock has scheduled, and I think this is the first one he's been able to do. He had a Lindale game, and they ended up canceling that by mutual consent. Earlier this season, some things had occurred on Saturday, and they just decided not. They'd already played twice, so I don't think there was any, or whatever. Anyway, that did not happen. But Coach Carrillo is with us, and let's go ahead and do some other sports. Not a whole lot this week. Wildcats baseball did win at home on Friday over Mount Pleasant, 10-3. And a good win for the Wildcats. They're 5-3 in district, and they jumped back into second place as Longview lost to Hallsville. Hallsville kind of running away with the district over there, but the Wildcats and Longview are tied, and I'm not sure about Texas High. It depends on how they did last night. And by the time I left here last night, I had not seen how they did. The Wildcats are 8-13 on the season. Again, they play McKinney North at noon today. And this week, and this will sound very similar to the Lady Cat softball schedule, Tuesday, Texas High will be here, and then on Friday, the Wildcats will be traveling to Marshall. And then they will have a rematch with McKinney North, and that one will be at Wildcat Park. That'll be next Saturday, and it may be a noon or afternoon game, early afternoon, but I'd have to look. But that's coming up next Saturday. Wildcats Tennis, they are going to have the district tennis tournament. That'll be Tuesday and Wednesday in Texarkana. The JV will have their district tournament Thursday in Longview. And the goal for the tennis players is to try to reach the regional tournament. That'll be April the 26th in Allen. And Wildcats and Lady Cats track, they're going to area. It's kind of a meet that they've created to try to reduce the number of kids going to the regional track. They just turned into huge tournaments, meets. And so they have this area, and it's basically a by-district. It's our district and District 16, the top four from those two districts getting together, and then the top set area will head on to regional. And so we have 5 Wildcats and 7 Lady Cats will be going to that regional, the area, and that'll be on Thursday at White House. So that's everything else. David Carrillo here, and probably outside of Hallsville, I guess, probably the next hardest place, either that or Texas High. I don't know. Coach Carrillo can set the record straight, but it's always a tough win when the Lady Cats go to Mount Pleasant, and last night it was a hard-fought game, but the Lady Cats come out on top 4-1. And Coach, just tell us about that game a little bit. Good job by your ladies.
Yes, they really stepped up, and like you said, going to Mount Pleasant, it's always a tough place to play, and it's a tough team to play because they're going to always be well coached, and they're coming after you. It's a rivalry game, because heck, we're just right down the highway. So, and a lot of kids, they travel together. They play travel ball together. They know each other. So it is a big deal. And like I said, we were very fortunate to go down there and pretty much take care of business. The way our girls have responded, I think they're again, like I said, I feel like they're just buying into we're getting better every game. I'm just being honest. And we're hitting the ball better every game. And we're taking advantage of every chance we have for runners in scoring position. And even a couple times early, they know we're going to be aggressive and try to score runs. But I was very proud of the way our girls stepped up because it was almost like they weren't really worrying about the game itself. It was just worried about trying to figure out. I guess they weren't like scared or that. I didn't see any kind of anxiety about this game. They just kind of went out there and took care of business. And that made me feel good as a coach because even as a coach, I was pretty calm myself. I just had a lot of confidence in the kids because I know we were playing better, we're hitting the ball better, and I just knew if we could sit there and just focus on us and not what's going on around us, that we were going to be fine. And that's kind of what we did last night. We Nicole Higgins got a big 2-run home run to start it off, and then also, we put some hits in between there and scored 2 more runs. And when we were up it was 2-1 at first, and then we kind of had a hiccup there and gave up a home run, and it was 2-1. And I was really proud of the way our girls responded to score 2 runs in the 7th to widen the gap. And then even the 7th, we had to respond to some adversity. But our girls really played well. They played with confidence, and I'm really proud to see how they're developing, because we're so much farther along defensively and offensively than we were at the beginning of the year. And that's where I knew pitching, I knew we were going to be good. The other part, the other intangibles, you got to get better, and we continue to get better every week or every game.
Now, your buddy over there, Jeremy Tarrant, coaching Mount Pleasant, it seemed like has he been over there as long as you've been in Sulphur?
He's been there a long time. We were trying to figure that out yesterday. I know he's been there over 10 years, and like I said, Jeremy, he has him ready to go, and he's got a good little bunch over there, and you got to be ready to play, because he's going to get them ready, and they're very well coached all the time. So like I said, it's hard to play him again, because we are good friends and we do talk a lot. But it's on the schedule. And you got to roll. But we've been very even winning and losing, we've always been very cordial to each other after the game. Or it's not like, oh my gosh, but when you're in the heat of the battle, you want your kids to perform and get after it, and he expects the same out of his own kids. So that's why I think you have such good games when we play Mount Pleasant. Hallsville's the same way, Texas High's the same way. Those 3 teams right now come to my head that I know we're good friends, but you're going to have to fight and you're going to have to battle. So. That's why you play the game.
You see, and I've seen it before, where some of the girls, kind of hug each other and stuff like that, and you wonder, wow, but they're maybe on the same club team or traveling team, and some of that they have before, and so they develop these friendships. But it's just like you and Jeremy. Once you walk between those white lines, everything changes.
Yes,
and you guys compete at the highest level. And that's expected, but like you say, once the game's over, then you kind of put it aside and you're friends again. Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's just a game. There's more to things like for example, I know the coaches that I talk to, we talk about life, and we talk about certain things, and we talk about culture and the things that you're dealing with your own team and your own kids, and how can we help each other out. It's like Jeremy or myself or anyone else, how we call each other, hey, can you pray for me about this or that. Our district's pretty good at we have a lot of good coaches that I think that I know are doing the right things, and they're trying to develop kids for life lessons. It's not just about the game. It's not win at all cost. And some people don't really like that. Some people think that's being soft, but to me, heck, you're teaching kids how to win in life. And that's the bottom line. Because I think if you do all, like I said, I've said it many times, you do all those little things right, you're going to win in life, and you're going to win out there on that field too. And some teams just aren't as talented as the other teams. And let's be real, and you better teach them something, or it's more than the game. And then I've always said that. But like I said, with Jeremy and all that, we're just all really close-knit group, and we're blessed to have that kind of, where we can just talk to each other, call each other on the phone, help each other out. And we talk about softball things too. Hey, I got this issue. And believe it or not, we help each other out. We don't look at it as, I'm not going to help this person out. No, we help each other out a lot.
Yeah, they present quite a few challenges. They have a pitcher that I remember kind of seeing her for the first time, maybe on that same field. I guess it's been like 3 years ago.
Yes.
We got to their starter real good in the first inning, and they brings in this freshman from right field, and she pitches again tonight. So she's a veteran pitcher now, and they're big boppers. I mean, they were 17-6 coming in.
Yeah.
And they can really, really hit the ball. I thought this was going to be a real challenge, for our good pitching and their good hitting, to kind of collide, and you always kind of see how that turns out.
Yeah, and it was a good atmosphere game, just like the Hallsville game. It was electrifying. People were out there, and I like how our kids handled the pressure. But it was like you said, it was just 2 teams colliding and see what happens. And like I said, Nicole Higgins opened that with the 2-run homer and opened the game right there in the 4th. And you're always looking. I always like I was kind of thinking as a coach, you kind of think, okay, we got a 2-run lead now. What do we need to do to get through the rest of the game? Because you're always constantly looking at their batting order, where they're at and what they're doing, what kid can do what. And I felt good about where we were at, and I knew we could get through the bottom of the 4th. Then it makes their lineup kind of change now, because now I think we were dealing with 1, 2, and 3 at the time, or somewhere up at the top. We got rid of them and got them out. So then that kind of gives you a reprieve till they have to come back again. Yeah. And I'm not saying their lineup is not good on the end, but everybody has their good hitters up front for the most part. So that's kind of what we were thinking. And Crimson was able to do a good job with them, and we played great defense, made some great plays. Jaden Harper made a great play out in center field one time, just an amazing play to double off somebody in the 7th. That comes to mind. But like I said, for the most part, I think we are playing better defensively now too, because once you face Crimson in a little while, you're going to start moving the ball around, but you got to always play good defense, and I think we've been doing that too. We did that last night.
Very good. Let's take our first internal break. Go back with more with David Carrillo right after this break. And back here on Saturday Morning Coaches Show, talking with David Carrillo, Lady Cats softball coach. 4-1 win over Mount Pleasant last night in Mount Pleasant. You mentioned the home run by Nicole Higgins. Has she had another home run this year?
Yes, Nicole. Well, actually, Nicole is kind of a move in from California, which we were blessed to have her. That's, again, another blessing we have. I feel like she's one of our better hitters. Maybe for average, it's not like showing out right now, but she gets the big hits at the right time. And again, that was a big, huge hit.
Sure.
We haven't really just been whacking home runs left and right. We've been getting key hits at key times to score the big runs to win the game. But she's another one that I have a lot of faith in, because I watch her in practice. I watch her swing. She's got a great swing. She's going to be a very good player before it's all over with. That is the key. I think sometimes coaches tend to give up on kids too soon. They're not hitting, so fire them and put somebody else in there. And sometimes you have to make that move. But for the most part, with what I see in her and the fundamentals that she has, she's capable of doing a lot of things. And she's had to work through some stuff, but she's always seemed to get the key hits when we've always needed them. Just when you think she's done, bang, she gets a big hit. That's Nicole, and she's only going to get better from here on out, because I think she's going to be an outstanding player by the time all is said and done here at Sulphur Springs.
Yeah, you were talking about the game. Mount Pleasant in the bottom of the 6th, I believe, gets a home run from their leadoff hitter, and it all of a sudden is a 2-1 ball game. And like you mentioned, it's so important in that 7th inning to come back, to bounce back and get those insurance runs to take you into that bottom of the 7th. You would have hated to go into that bottom of the 7th up 2-1, hanging on by your fingernails.
Yes, I look at the events that happened in the bottom of the 7th, and I'm thinking, I'm glad we got those 2 insurance runs at the end. Like I said, it definitely opened up the gap, and you feel a lot better going 4-1 than 2-1. As a coach right now, when you have a 4-1 lead, you don't worry about I'm not worried about girls that get on base. I'm worried about girls to get the outs. I will give up a run for an out. And that's kind of my mindset going into the 7th inning. But Harper makes an amazing play. And we're able to double that girl off, and that pretty much ended the game right there. And like I said, we were very blessed with that, and because Mount Pleasant was hitting the ball hard, too. They have the capabilities of doing that. And we were able to shut them down defensively, in which, Crimson can go out there and strike out 15, 16 kids a game or whatever she does. That's just what she does. But you also got to make those plays that when they do put the ball in play and not make errors and make the basic plays. And that's what I told them today. I said, let Crimson do her thing, but we have to do our things defensively and make every play, and then we're going to be successful.
Yeah, nothing kind of brings you down like an error. It just kind of spreads throughout the team. And I hate to. I'm not going to identify any one player. I mean, anybody. You don't go out there to make an error, but if you do, it's one of those things.
Yeah, and it happens. And I ain't gonna lie, as a coach, you just kind of take a deep breath and go on, because that mistake that they made, you're right. They didn't go out there to they're hard. Our kids in Sulphur Springs, America, are in softball. I do know this throughout all the years I've been here. They're more harder on themselves than I could ever think about being. And I know that, and I realize that, because they have been playing ball since they were little kids. And they know not only the expectations that the town has, their parents have, and I have. It gets on them, and it hurts them. I know it does. You know, I was talking to one player who made a mistake the Hallsville game, and she goes, "I felt so bad when I'm going," and I get it, and I understand because they want to be good. They want to make all the plays. It's not a thing they've done on purpose, but it does happen. But how do you bounce back? And fortunately, we've been able to bounce back from the mistakes that we've made. But like I said, it definitely not intentional, and you got to just learn how to shake it off. And you try not to be too hard on them because, like I said, the pressure's on them. I mean, they know it, and they get it around from everywhere. But like I said, we're blessed. Our kids care, and that to me, it's a blessing that they do care that much because they want to be perfect, but they also know that we're playing a game that you're not going to be. So for the most part, we've been able to overcome a lot of things that we have messed up on. But, it's part of coaching. It's part of just going through things. It's part of the game. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you're talking about the pressure, and that's kind of a testament to all that have gone before that have kind of, created the tradition and everything of Lady Cat softball of excellence, that's expected of them. And I know they take pride in that and being a Lady Cat and all that, but at the same time, there is that kind of burden of, hey, I've got to step it up. People are used to really good softball in this town.
Yes, and I mean, when I got here, Coach McCullough was coaching, and then there was a little break in between. Then I got here, and it wasn't just the expectations that I saw in the kids. It was the expectations that I saw in myself. There was pressure coming in here because I was a new guy. I didn't. I knew what I was getting into, but you really don't know until you get here. But then you see people playing on little patches of dirt, just a, city summer league and all this other kind of stuff. Then you realize, hey man, this is a softball town, and you better be on your A game. And like I said, I just been very blessed and fortunate to have the kids that I have because it's definitely not about me. It's about these kids that we have. And I can honestly say this: in the 15 years that I've been here. It's fun to go back and look at people from Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, because if it didn't mean anything to them, they wouldn't be coming back. They wouldn't be doing Facebook thing. It's a family, and that's what we've tried to create here, that culture of family. Everybody's important, and everybody cares about everybody. It doesn't matter what year you graduated or whatever, you're a Lady Cat softball player. I have kids that I have coached back, like I said, 1, 2, 3, Team 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then we still keep in contact, and we're still close, and that's just the environment we wanted to create here. We wanted people to come back. I don't care if a kid comes back and sits in my dugout during the game. I love those kids like they were my own, and like that's the environment we want them to come back, and we want them to, heck, I look at this team. We have 17 kids. Not 17 kids can't play, but you know what? They're all there. They're still there. Every one of them is important. And they want to be there. They don't want to. If it was such a bad environment, they would probably go do something else. But we try to create that environment where the last, the kid that might not. I'm gonna say something. Caitlin Shields. I'm gonna put her name out there. Girl, you probably never even heard about. She's played for me for 4 years, and she shows up for practice every day. She works hard every day, and skill-wise, she may not be as good as another player, but heart-wise and just working, does not say a word. She is I look at it, I was thinking about her last night, that girl is team. She wants to be a part of it. She may not be the best one, but she's always picking up balls, finding stuff to do, and I'm proud of her because of and I tell her that too. It's not easy to have to play a role, but she does it, and she knows, and she gets some at-bats, but she's not that star player. I mean, I'm going to be real, but she is one of that shows up every day and gets ready for practice and goes to work. And to me, that's just a testament of what type of kid that she is. And those are the type of kids that you really look up to because they may not get all that time. But you know what? She wants to be there, and she's blessed she just wants to be a part. And she is a part, and we treat her like she's number one, just like we treat everybody on our team. And I just wanted to bring her name out there. It was just weird because last night I was thinking about this girl, you know what, has done a lot. That's why, like, the starter to me should always be appreciated of being a starter because you have those girls that are not playing and that are not starting and play very limited time. But you should appreciate this whole thing as a team. Not just about one. And again, she's one that I look up to her every day because I know that way she does things, she's going to go far in life because she is a team player and she is a good-hearted kid. And I tell you right now, I respect her a lot because of the things that she does every day. And, like I said, she's not going to go out there and just set the world on fire. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean but she's going to set the world on fire in practice, but just how she does things. And she's going to set the world on fire in life because she's learning all these lessons. She just does what she needs to do. And again, I appreciate kids like that.
Very good, Coach. Thank you very much. Let's take our second internal break. Back with more with Coach David Carrillo right after this. Okay, back here on Saturday morning Coaches Show with Lady Cats softball coach David Carrillo. And last night win over Mount Pleasant 4-1. And talking about the Lady Cats team, got 9 hits last night, Coach. You talked about how the hitting has improved. Mount Pleasant had 4 hits, including each team had 1 home run, but you had several players at least had a couple of hits last night.
Yes,
Nyla Lindley and maybe Jaden Harper.
Harper, Paris Pickett, Addison Desmet got on and got a key run at the end. This was a little bit different because, like I said, at the beginning we had a running, we got Nala on. We weren't able to, got it thrown out at second. I'll take the heat for that. But for the most part, when we had runners in scoring position, we were able to get them in and last night and being able to produce runs. So, we are moving. I felt like even early in the game we were moving the ball well. We weren't striking out. And to me, if you can keep putting the ball in play, eventually those hits are going to come. And again, Crimson was amazing again. I think she struck out 14. Yeah. And she, pitched an awesome game, had to battle through some stuff, and there were situations she had to battle through, but she can get it. She'll suck it up and get after it. So again, we're very blessed with the pitching, and like I said, I feel like we're playing better defense. We're playing better overall as a team. I think in all areas of the game we have improved. I will say that because there's times I sitting at home thinking, oh my gosh, we got to do this better, we got to do that better. But we have started improving in all areas of the game. The worst enemy that to me right now that can happen to us is ourselves. And if we will just enjoy the ride, know how blessed we are, and just continue to get better, we're fixing to keep going and have a special season. Because if you asked me back in August, this was going to happen. This is just a blessed year. I mean, we are truly blessed, and I'm thankful. There's not every time that it's not about me. It's about us. What are we going to do from here on out? And it's just amazing, the amazing run we have. It's the kids and just all of us. The coaches are enjoying it. We're enjoying it, and it's fun to see how much better we have gotten since the first week we played. And then we had that snow, and you're just kind of trying to figure it. It felt like you're starting over again. I remember in in Allen, we were playing Rockwall, and it was nasty. We looked really bad, and then you just kind of look at how we progressed. And I look at district. I mean, we get beat by Hallsville. Longview, we're striking out like 50 million times, and then it just turned. Everything just changed. And from that point on, we were just getting better and better every day.
Yeah, that Longview game, that was one we did radio and TV, and I don't know many coaches that could figure out a way to not get the ball out of the infield and get 3 little nubbing little hits there and somehow put that concoction all together and come out with it.
Yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie, my brain was spinning, but we got that run, and that's just weird about this game too. You look at that game, and then we look at the game on Tuesday night. Same pitcher, same deal. They ended up pitching Rios, the one that stymied us the first time, but we moved the ball and hit the ball, and that's just telling me that we are getting better. And they ended up using both pitchers. We scored 6 runs, and it was a lot more comfortable of a game. Than the other one, but it's just weird how, like I said, how our team has just evolved into. I feel like we're playing with confidence now, and I feel like that the kids are believing that we are good. Because I would tell them all the time, I'd get so frustrated with them because I could see it. I knew we could be really, really good, but I didn't really believe that they believed. But now I know they do.
Yeah. Well, good. And as good as we've been, Hallsville just will not go away. I mean, they're right there with you.
Yes.
And that's neither team wants to blink.
No, they want to
get down the stretch.
Yeah, they beat Longview 2-0 last night. So
wow.
So it was a close game also. So I think hopefully we can take care of our business and win out. And if they take care of their business and win out, it looks like we're going to play them again. And it would be a seeding game, but if we can win out, we could be co-district champs with them, which I'm good. I just want finish. Then of course you want that number one seed if you can get it. But I will be honest when I say this, and I talked to Coach Tarrant about this last night. I think we are going to be battle tested once we get into the playoffs because of the pitching that we have in our district. So it's a good thing that these games are coming down to the way they are. I mean, when all is said and done, once you get in, it's a new season. So, but you want to be ready. And I feel like our district is getting us ready because, of course, the pitching that we have here in our district. So I think all four teams, because in my mind I see it as being Hallsville, us, Mount Pleasant, and probably T-High. And that being said, we're going to be all ready when we have to face the sister district over there, the Lufkins and all those people, Huntsville and them. So I think that we'll be ready to go by the time in a couple of weeks when the playoffs start.
Yeah, absolutely. One quote I always remember from you is you said years ago, hey, just get in and then see what happens. And Coach Hammock and I were actually talking last week, and that came up, because he was saying, hey, we just got to get in, and they're right now in second place, but, they could, but the difference between second and fifth is not a lot. And so we kind of brought that quote out again, and I always think of you in that, and there's a lot of truth to that. And Coach Hammock found out a couple of years ago he got in as a fourth seed, but they were a hot fourth seed. They had won about 7 in a row or something, and they get in there and they go several rounds. So. Yeah. Like you say, you get in there and see if you can't make a run.
That's right. I mean, we've been the 3 seed many times and gone farther than anybody in the district. We just. It just a matter once you get in and matchups. It's all about matchups, and it's all about being hot at the right time. And sometimes you just catch fire, and when you do, that's when you have those special playoff runs. So hopefully, I feel like we're going to be ready, battle tested, and everything. And I feel like I'm not. I just wanted. I kept saying this. I just want to get in. I just want to get in, and we're in now. Now you kind of want to see to get the best seed, but really you just want to be playing well when you get there, because a seed ain't going to matter if you're not playing well.
That's true.
And I don't care. I've seen 1 seeds go down because they're not playing well. So you just want to be playing well when you get there. And I feel like right now we're getting better every game, and we just need to keep improving these last 3 games because, for these seniors, I tell them all the time, you're guaranteed 3 games now. Now we get lucky because we're blessed because now we get to go play, in the playoffs. Now we've clinched that spot. But for right now, we're guaranteed 3 games. What are you going to do with these 3 games? We have a chance to win a district championship, and that was, or even be tied for it. I don't care because I didn't never imagine we would even, there were so many questions again, like I said, because of the COVID. And I've said that last week. We just didn't know. We didn't know what we had until we were actually playing. But we have improved every game, and like I said, I'm looking forward to what the rest of the year holds.
All right, very good. Let's take our last internal break here, and we'll be back to talk about a little bit about the teams Lady Cats played this week, and we'll talk about that coming up. And back here on the Saturday morning coaches show, close to wrapping it up on this Saturday. Always good to talk to David Carrillo. One of my favorite times of the year because Coach Carrillo, Coach Hammock, real fans of the coaches show, I guess. They always come when I ask, and I really appreciate them. And it's always good to get into this time of year and just enjoy the conversation about baseball and softball, both sports that I really, really love. And this week we talked about Jeremy Tarrant. Now here comes Robbie Hatfield with Texas High. And so you've got them on Tuesday coming up.
Now that Robbie scares me too, because Robbie's like the riverboat gambler. You just never know. It does not matter. He's gonna have those kids ready to play, and he just has a way of doing things and getting in. Even this year he was talking about his pitching's not as strong as it's been in the past, but he always finds a way to develop one, and he always has kids that can hit the ball. And offensively, they're a dangerous team because that 1 through 9, they can hit the ball and they can move the ball around. And they have a girl that's in the 3 hole that's definitely a D1 player. Actually got a home run last time over there against us. She's the real deal too as an offense player. And she's good. And we've got to figure out a way again to score some runs and slow them down. And Tuesday night at our place, we'll look forward to it. But again, we always know it's going to be a tough game. It doesn't matter where we play them; it's going to be a good game, and he's going to have his kids ready to go. He just does a good job. He's been there ever since softball was probably invented over there in Texas High. So he's been there a long time, but I love him too. He's just a great guy, and he's a good Christian man that I respect. And he's going to have his kids ready to go. And then I believe then we go to Marshall on Friday. So playing on turf. It's going to be a wild week, but I feel like our kids, again, we know through the steps that we need to go to get this thing finished the way we want to. So we're looking forward to the challenge. And like I said, this has been a special year. And I just hope that, and I pray, I look up and wake up every day and it feels so blessed about the season that we're having. And I feel like sometimes we don't need to take that for granted. Because, we have 4 years. Just think about a normal kid has 4 years to play. These seniors, you want them to go out on a good note, and I'm so thankful that they're having this opportunity. But we need to look around us and just be thankful for where we're at. And sometimes I think we put our eyes on ourselves. It could be a dangerous thing. But you got to look in the accountability mirror and look, hey, we're not just looking at ourselves. We're looking at 17 kids and 4 coaches. And when you start looking at things like that and putting self aside, I just feel like you just get blessed and amazing things can happen because this thing ain't done yet, But like I said, I feel like our own worst enemy could be ourselves, and that's why I keep preaching team. And as a person, I know it's hard to sit there as a player and realize you want some things for yourself, but that's not what life all about. You got to go love one another, and you got to be a giver, and you got to be a servant leader. That's what gets you far, and I've been preaching that to our kids. So I feel like they're doing it for the most part, but again, I warn them every day, it's not about you, it's about us, and we have to make decisions for us. So hopefully, like I said, we'll continue to buy into that and be okay. Hey, we're breathing, we're getting to play ball. Not everybody can play softball. That's what excites me the most. I just like being out there at practice. I like being in there in the games. These little things that, I like interacting with other coaches. That to me is fun. I just hope, again, we continue to appreciate where we're at and not take it for granted.
And speaking of where we're at, I know you go a lot of different places and see some pretty empty stands and not many fans, and yet you come home to Lady Cat Park and usually greeted by softball faithfuls. Some people with no ties absolutely to the team. They just love the Lady Cats and love softball, and usually have great support, Coach.
Yes, and that is one of the things when I came to Sulphur Springs and was blessed to have the opportunity to coach this program. I knew that it was a softball. I'm not saying a softball, but I knew people loved the softball around here. And I remember when I first got here, there was people watching practice all the time, and we still have people that park out there and watch practice, and they care about it. And there's people that really doesn't even have any kids in there, but they come watch the games. There's parents that have had kids that played, they come watch the games. So that's what I'm so thankful for and blessed that the atmosphere of softball, that it's a family thing. The town really supports it, and they really enjoy coming out there and watch the games because these girls do work hard. They're special kids. Every year, we've been blessed. And we've been in the playoffs now. I guess we clinched 14 years in a row. And that's a testament to these kids, to the parents, and all those people that take these kids off and go travel and go do extra things with their kids. I'm just along for the ride. I never sit there, I humbly just come down and never sit there and say it's all about these coaches. It's about the kids that we have and the parents. It's got to be everybody. I look out there on those fields and they're practicing. I always think, man, how blessed are we that these people are taking time to develop softball players in this town. Because if you don't get them when they're young and you don't get them playing when they're young and get them competitively playing, our program is nothing. It's all about what our community does for these kids. We get them at the end, but they develop them early. And I humbly just go, I tell any coach I see coaching City League or travel, thank you, because we would not be in a position that we were at if we didn't have those people.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Talking about Coach Carrillo and Coach Hammock and their interest in the Coaches Show, one of my all-time favorites, because he always loved the show so much, Andy Holt. And I want to mention that because Andy will be back in town at the Prim a big soccer game for Frisco Wakeland, where he is now. And Andy coaching them this morning against Longview. That'll be a regional final, so the winner of that will be going to meet other regional finalists in the state tournament. So we wish Andy the best, and while I'm into soccer, we do love Alexi Upton too. He's been a big fan of the show, and so I appreciate each and every one. And those soccer coaches kind of, they're champing at the bit, and a lot of times if teams are in tournaments, Coach Carrillo and Hammock are in tournaments or something, and they know there's kind of or the basketball teams are in kind of a dead spot there. They're willing to come on any time. They're kind of ambassadors for soccer, and I love those guys coming on too. So appreciate all of them, including Coach Carrillo spending his time on Saturday. A lot of other things he could be doing, but appreciate him coming in. And the main thing is get an opportunity to talk about the players and to talk about the jobs they're doing. And so I appreciate Coach Owens. He's, he always shows up, and he's a big fan too. And so I appreciate all the coaches that come on. Clark Cipolletta, he's another good one. I'm going to leave somebody out, so I better stop right there.
Well, I'll be honest, as a coach, I appreciate y'all because y'all do a lot of things to promote sports in general. There is no town that has someone like you or what y'all do here, and it's amazing the opportunity these kids have to be live streamed, be on TV, to get themselves out there. We are blessed as coaches that y'all get to do that. Y'all do this stuff, and this gives us another opportunity to promote our program and do this. And I mean, I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody. We're blessed and thankful that y'all do the things that y'all do. And I speak from the bottom of my heart. It's fun. It makes it a lot more fun because a lot of towns don't have this, and we're blessed to have this.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids that have spent a lot of time in front of the camera. We've had some on the coaches show, and so we're glad to get to know the players a lot better that way, and kind of personalizes them with me a little bit. So appreciate the words, Coach. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and wrap it up today. And again, for the Lady Cats and the Wildcats, Texas High coming in on Tuesday, and then a trip to Marshall on Friday. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and so long.